rewarding, and I feel like some of the work that we do intentionally goes unnoticed.
Well, I'm here at SEMA 2017 with Mr. Rob Ida from Rob Ida Automotive. Now, Rob, congratulations, mate. I know you've been working pretty much around the clock to get this thing here. We met last year at Pebble Beach, where we had another car there, which was an absolute showstopper. Now, Rob, what have you been up to, mate? Well, it looks pretty good.
Well, thank you. This is a 1948 Tucker, or at least a handmade version of that. It's a car that we made from scratch. So my team and I put this car together, probably a bulk of it about 5 or 6 years ago, and it's been sitting in my shop waiting to get finished. So we just got the opportunity within the last few months for the new owner to finish the car off. So in the last few months, we've gone and body, paint, upholstery, hammered out the bumpers, all the chrome trim. This car uses a Cadillac transverse mounted V8 that's twin turbocharged.
Okay.
So behind the rear seat, you'll find a V8 turned sideways kind of stuffed in there. But the beauty of that is it gives the car much better balance than an original Tucker, which was rear engine. So a mid-engine car is going to be a lot better to drive, especially with a 128-inch wheelbase.
Yeah. Right. Now, Rob, when you come to an event like this, what does it feel like to have all these people standing around looking at your car and admiring it? Because, you know, when they look at this, they can't see all the work that's gone into it. But how does it make you feel to see your car here?
It's rewarding, and I feel like some of the work that we do intentionally goes unnoticed.
Yeah.
We don't need everything to be a highlight. Yeah. Some things need to be gone understated.
Yeah.
And the fact that the car is handmade, most people don't realize that, number one. And what we've done is we've kept all the modern technology that's built into the car hidden within a period correct look.
Right.
So a lot of things do go unnoticed, and we're okay with that because that's part of the beauty of the car. So I think to see the initial reaction is great, but now when the person comes up and actually listens and hears about what's really inside, I think is the best part for me. I like to really walk them through it, give them a personal tour of the car, and let them know actually what's going on there.
Yeah. So what we're looking at here is a completely handmade car from the ground up. So basically Rob started with flat sheet of metal and gave it three-dimensional form and hand-built this car. So it's an absolute work of art, Rob.
Well,
it's
thank you.
Beautifully done. And what does SEMA mean to you to be here and to be part of the spectacle of the event, and of course with Axalta Coatings?
Axalta Coatings, that is so important to me because I always feel that SEMA brings people from around the world that I know about, and I only get to see them here.
Yeah.
Like yourself.
Yeah.
So I can come here and I think probably get the most exposure to the people that might really appreciate our work. So we don't really spend a lot of time traveling to a lot of other shows. We spend most of our time during the year in the shop doing the work. So when we do come to an event, we want to make sure that it really makes sense and we get the most out of it. And SEMA does that for us.
Sure. Well, can you walk us through some of the features of the car that you've done?
Well, we'll start with the big picture. The big picture of the car is a very accurate representation of what Tucker cars looked like.
Yeah.
The only things that we changed in design is that we slimmed the hood out a bit. If you look at a Tucker, if you look at an original Tucker, it has kind of a disconnect between the door profile and the hood profile. It's got kind of a dip over here.
Yeah.
So we slimmed out the hood in the front so that now it has more continuity in this line.
Okay, so when you say you've slimmed it down, you've actually taken some of the profile out of it.
Yes. Some of the details are like vent windows and garnish moldings. The shifter in there is one of my favorite parts. The shifter looks like a Tucker pre-selector, which used a clutch pedal. So you would choose the gear, first gear, and it wouldn't shift in until you hit the clutch pedal. You choose second gear, and then hit the clutch pedal and shift again. This is a modern electronic transmission in this car. So now you can select manual mode on that little selector, and when you hit the clutch pedal, electronically shifts the transmission.
Okay.
So it has almost the same purpose as an original Tucker did, but with modern parts.
Right.
Center headlight steers.
Okay.
The door releases. Preston Tucker's great-grandson, Sean, actually 3D printed those.
Okay.
So he modeled them on SolidWorks and printed them out, and there they are. So all of the pieces on this car look just like Tucker parts, but they're all made. So we used whatever method was best or easiest or most convenient to make the parts.
Now here's a tough question. How many hours do you think you've spent on this car?
I think there's
broad terms.
About 6,000 hours.
6,000 hours, yeah.
Overall.
Which I can see. It's pretty impressive. Now I understand you did some chop work on the bumper bars too, didn't you? Or you made new bumper bars for the car?
Yes, the bumpers are all made. They're all handmade.
Right.
So my guys in the shop, Arthur made the front bumper, and
what did you make those out of?
18 gauge.
18 gauge, right? Yeah. Okay.
So we're using modern logic. So we figure, so if a modern bumper is plastic with a reinforcement behind it, well then we could have a sheet metal bumper with a reinforcement.
Why
behind
not?
it.
Why not? Because it'd be such a tough job to make that out of 16 gauge or 14 gauge. Like you'd be there with sore arms and
Yeah, we didn't think it was necessary.
No. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I love the colour too. It's such a. Now, can you tell me a little bit about Axalta? They're obviously on board with a lot of your projects.
Yes, Axalta owns a few different paint companies. DuPont being one of them. Spies Hecker is their premium line, and we use primarily Spies Hecker products from primer through clear coat.
Yep.
So we have a color here that is close to a Tucker color. The Tucker color was called Waltz Blue, and they called it Waltz Blue because Preston Tucker's wife wore a dress and she danced the waltz in this blue dress. So they made this color, color that they call Waltz Blue. This is my version of that. So it has a modern pearl or metallic in it because Tucker was the first to use metallic paint on his cars, but back then they were kind of crude. The metallic technology wasn't what it is now.
Oh well, Axalta in Australia supply something like 24% of all automotive paints within the country. So it's a very well-known brand in Australia, and particularly Spies Hecker. They're a great paint. We've obviously used it quite a bit on some of our projects as well. So it looks amazing here, and I think the acid test is always how many people are here, how many people looking at your car, and there's a constant crowd. So
it seems to be. And if you
congratulations.
Notice, the wheel choice is different from the right side to the left side.
Okay, you better tell me about that.
So we're going to have a vote. So these were made in my shop. This is a 22-inch modern billet wheel with the center crest on the Tucker crest in the center cap.
Okay.
Then if you walk over onto this side, now you see a more traditional look with a white wall tire and a chrome hubcap and a Tucker crest.
Okay, so it's just covered by the cap.
Well, it's a whole different wheel and tire.
Okay, right. Okay.
Yeah, so we have two sets of wheels. We have 4 of these and 4 of those.
Okay.
So we're here today to gauge what people like better.
Right.
And I think that when people are fans of the bias ply white wall tire, they have a strong dislike for what's on the other side.
Yeah.
But when people like that side, they're okay with this.
Yeah, so, that's right. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah. So we figured it would be a fun little test to see people's reaction to the difference in the wheels.
And what have you got in the pipeline? What other projects are coming down the line? What are you hoping to bring here next year?
The Tucker Torpedo, which I've been working on for some time. That's an aluminum-bodied concept car. So Preston Tucker was working on an idea to build a car in 1946 that was center drive. Very rounded roof, like a turret-style roof. The reason why he couldn't make that car was because you couldn't get in or out of it without smashing your head into the roof because you were sitting in the center. So we come up with a solution to that, and now if you see our car, when you open the butterfly-style doors, the entire floor rotates. So you can sit in the nearest seat to the door, and all the seats then rotate, and you become in the position of the center, of the driving position. That was the solution to making that car. So now that car can be made. So we're building that car for the very first time. It's never been built before. There was lots of plans and drawings and renderings. It was even advertised, but they were never able to make it. So my grandfather was a dealer for Tucker in 1947 in New York City. And based on that torpedo design, he was inspired enough to invest his life savings in a Tucker dealership.
Right.
Then once Tucker realized that getting in and getting out isn't going to work, well, now they needed a square roof. They had to lose the turret-style roof to allow clearance to get in the car. So now that car went away, and Tucker made 50 of these. This is what became his design, designed by Alex Tremulous, which is a wonderful design. The other car was designed by George Lawson, and we've done some research, and we've been able then to get all the dimensions to make that car. And that's what we're doing in the shop now.
Well, Rob, congratulations, mate. It's
Thanks
a beautiful,
very much.
a beautiful
I'm such
project.
a fan of your work.
Oh, that's right. But
I love to
it's
watch
just
it.
it's such a great thing to see a finished car like this and see people engaged, because quite often the hours are very lonely hours in the workshop, and you're there on your own, or you're there with a group of guys. But this is what it's all about, being here and being able to share it with the public.
Yeah,
it's a work of art, mate. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.